afternoon, my beautiful viewers. Welcome to today's show. As you know how we always do it, we educate, we inform, and we challenge on this show. So if you're joining us for the first time, remember to subscribe to the channel, share widely, and click on the notification bell. So my guest of today is going to shortly introduce himself, then we'll take it away. So karibuni sana. Karibu.
Thank you very much. I'm glad and very happy to be here and joining the Real Talk. I think I love the fact that we're giving out information to those people that need it more. As it said, information is power. It's what will determine the next step we're going to make in life. So maybe to introduce myself, my name is Kanyeri Duncan. I'm the branch manager in Roy. Sauti yangu iko chini?
Angalia kamera.
I'm sorry for that. So I will reintroduce myself. My name is Kanyeri Duncan. I'm the branch manager for Fanaka Real Estate, Roy Branch. As Roy Branch, we deal mainly with property in along Kangundo Road, mostly in Machakos County. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, Sharon.
Karibu sana. So Kanyeri has mentioned he's the branch manager of Roy Branch. Your team that you lead in Roy, how is it? How long have you been in the position? Yep.
I'm actually moving into my second year in the management position as the branch manager. But I've been with Fanaka Real Estate for quite some time. I've seen it grow. I've seen a lot of people acquire properties. I've seen a lot of people move from being tenants to landowners to ultimately homeowners, which gives me a lot of joy. To speak of the team I lead there, it's a very vibrant team. It's a very energetic team. It's a team that is really eager to usher you into this journey of home ownership. So I know most of you who are watching us today have actually interacted with most of my team members, and you can attest to this. So they are a team that are actually waiting for you. We say karibu sana, our doors are very open. Yeah, they can just pop in any day because our site visits are every day of the week. And we are very happy to interact with you guys. We are here because of you guys. So welcome.
So you've heard it from the boss himself, Mr. Kanyeri. So welcome again to the show. This year has been branded, termed an election year, right? So on our side, on real estate market, how has that been to us? Being this year has been an election year, and yeah, a hearty congratulations to the president-elect. By the way, we are looking forward for him being sworn in on Tuesday. So how has that been on our end?
I don't know if it's prudent for me to say this, but it's also good to note that it being an electioneering nearing period, we expected a lot of goodwill from the people. I think we started by being the ambassadors of peace and saying, let us vote and remain peacefully, which actually happened.
Yeah.
But now in hindsight, it being an electioneering period, a lot of people tend to hold back in terms of investment. A lot of people tend to wait and rather place the wait and see approach in terms of no, I still don't know what is going to happen, and most of these things are actually emanating from the past experiences we've had. So in terms of the trajectory we were experiencing in terms of investment, there was a slight drop.
Okay.
But it's good thing that now things, as most of people have actually attested to the peaceful process, we're now expecting a spike.
Okay.
Considering real estate is a basic need. And if you look at the general need or the pyramid, it's usually called the pyramid of need. Shelter forms a very basic part. So as people were holding back, now they're opening up. Because this is what usually happens with real estate. Because I think we need to look at it in two angles. The first angle being, if I'm looking at it from the purchaser side of view, the prices were actually lower during that time. Because if the purchaser is playing a wait and see game, so is the seller. So you'll find in terms of prices, we actually expect a jump in terms of price, which has been informed by the demand. So you see, we can actually say that those who invested before the election actually tended to get better deals. We're not saying that we are going to spike our prices. We're just giving a general view of how things are, because that is the expectation. And real estate has been really resilient, because you'll remember when we started, I think this year being an election year, the
other
previous
year,
was Corona year. So things are actually changing. It's called VUCA. We're actually living in a volatile kind of situation, and things are actually changing. And I would say, in terms of investment, what we ought to be doing some years to come is what we are doing now. Because again, as I've mentioned, there was that decline in demand. But it was still there because people understand in terms of how valuable real estate is. Yeah.
Okay. So 2022 was a buyer's market, if you can agree with me.
Yeah, that's the time.
So, lovely viewers, our numbers are running on your screen. With Kanyeri saying that, and this year being a buyer's market, remember today's topic, we are discussing about land investment, and you are we're focusing on the diaspora people. So shortly we're going on a commercial break, and after that Kanyeri will still give you more insights on the land investments from the diaspora people. See you after the break.
Sure.
We also accept bank financing and SACCO financing. And for more information, contact the number below or our social media platforms. Currently, we are in Juja Farm Shopping Center. It's located just 10 minutes drive from first drawing. We have the ongoing tarmacking that is currently underway, and we have good news for you. We have a project that is just 300 meters from this ongoing tarmac, and it's going for only 899,000 Kenya shillings. The good part is that we give you up to 1 year to pay for your plot, and we also have incredible cash offers for you. We also accept bank financing and SACCO financing. And for more information, contact the number below or our social media platforms.
And welcome to Amara Gardens. This project is located along the Eastern Bypass, and it's just 2.5 kilometers off the tarmac. And like you can see around, these people have already started settling, and water and electricity is already available. This place ticks all the social amenities you would be looking for when building a home. For more information, call this number or visit our social media platform. Hello and welcome to Amara.
So mabibi na mabwana, as Mr. Kanyeri normally says, karibuni tena. So as we went on a short break, we had said we were going to talk about land investment, diaspora segment. So if you're just tuning in, remember to click on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and share widely. So Mr. Kanyeri, most Kenyans living in abroad, working in abroad, always look forward in investing back at home. And as much, if maybe they could want to invest in any other kind of investment, they always look at land as the most or prominent, they give the priority. So maybe you can just inform our viewers, what do they need to know, what do they need in order to invest back at home?
Oh, I think that's a very good question. And considering we're talking about those in diaspora, it's good to start by giving maybe a preamble of the numbers in terms of who is this diaspora we're actually speaking to. There was a report done by Central Bank of Kenya and on diaspora, I think somewhere March 2021. And from the report, they actually alluded to this, that most of the people in diaspora are actually looking at land and real estate by extension as one of the safest investment to invest back at home. The report also went on to talk about government securities and all that. But let's now major in terms of land. Land is actually very valuable. And we know this from the fact that land continues to appreciate with time. So if I'm looking at this person as a diaspora, I want to have a link that will join me back home. from the report, they were saying in terms of earnings, I think they was giving a distribution between earning, ages, and all that, and generally the median stay of a person in diaspora. So let me start by maybe giving the numbers. So the biggest remittance, diaspora remittance to Kenya, are people from North America. And by North America, mostly we're talking about the US and maybe Canada.
Yeah.
We had Asia also leading the pack, and Oceanic states, and then Europe. They formed part of the biggest remittance back home. From the report, the median stay of a person in diaspora was about 11 years. So we're talking about a person who kusi kwenyu. So you've gone there.
Umeenda kutembea.
And you have now this duration, like you have to make it. So if we're talking about a median stay of 11 years, you have to ask yourself, once my 11 years maybe lapse, and maybe I'm not as valuable or productive as I used to be before, what is this investment that I can actually lean on? You want an investment that will now come to shield you after you've done with your diaspora stay and everything. So when you're coming back, you want something that maybe is more tangible and more long-lasting. So saying you're investing in terms of finding your home, or you're investing because you want to use it as an investment opportunity that is for speculation. You want something that will actually give you value.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've talked of remittance. You've talked of maybe you can just give us a number, like now that you've been the person selling land in Fanaka for some time. Maybe you have the analytics, the numbers of the diaspora people that we have currently, our existing clients that are in diaspora. You can just maybe give a range of the percentage that they've invested with us. So maybe start by expounding on the remittance.
Sure. If you look at general remittance, and these I'm not talking about Fanaka alone, I'm talking as the entire country.
Yes.
You see, the remittance can be in a couple of ways. There is one that comes as direct investment. Those are people buying stuff. There is one where they'll send to their for supporting their families. There are those that they will do like investment, the one we've talked about, government securities and all that. There is also in-kind remittance. In-kind remittance is where a person unamwambia, hey, hello, you see what usually happens like for people in Nairobi. So someone just, by the fact that you are in Nairobi, maybe you just want to say, hey, hello. Yeah, tuma kitu nyumba. So it goes that way. So there is also that one. So in terms of remittance, the numbers from CBK, that is for during that duration, I think March 2021, it was a good billions, very good billions. And the number, I think, was actually continuing to rise. So, but I think, I don't know if they did the report again, but my hope is if the report is done, then that numbers will be very high. So the numbers is very high.
Okay.
To answer your question back at Fanaka, diaspora client form more than 40% of the clients who invest with us. So we actually thank and laud their effort in doing that. Because again, as we continue, I'll tell you why that is. You see, what used to happen for diaspora clients back then, it's someone would want to buy land.
Yes.
Then they choose to invest it through their brother. So unapata unatumia ndugu yako pesa, anaenda kununulia. So what used to happen is if you are lucky enough, your brother angejenga nyumba yake, alafu wajenge nyumba yake. So that unapata your house ama the investment you are sending is half the expectation. Sababu amejenga yake na akajenga yako. Worst case scenario ilikuwa the guy anakula pesa yako.
And they download the photos and send you.
So they anakutumia picha ngambia mjengo yako imeendelea. So most of these people are actually very shocked. Wakirudi nyumbani. Na unapata hakuna kitu imekulwa yote. So Fanaka came and saw this as a gap. As a gap in terms of, in line with the mission we have, is to make sure each and every Kenyan has a place to call home.
Yes.
And by extension, you'll find the demand for land around Nairobi is usually very high. Considering, again, from the report, those in diaspora, the biggest number of people by county distribution are people from Nairobi and people from Kiambu. So these are people who are maybe born in Nairobi, raised in Nairobi, schooled in Nairobi. Generally, it being a capital, we expect this kind of thing. So if I'm from Nairobi and I'm maybe in the US or Canada or Europe, wherever, London, we forgot to talk
about and our queen has left us. Sorry. So condolences to that.
So you'll find that I'd want something that attaches me to Nairobi by extension. So as Fanaka, what we do is we made the process seamless in two ways. One, we made viewing the property very easy. Two, we made documentation and efficiency, rather the documentation, its efficiency and availability of information, because this is also very key. By availability of information, I'm talking about, I'm not here. How do you sell me the property that I can actually trust in? So we had to do that. We had to come and look at, if I'm in diaspora, what is this that I'll be looking for? You are actually becoming the middle player in that field, such that you remember, I think there's a show here we talked about what we look for when we're going to scout for this land. And we understand now that this person is in diaspora, what am I looking for this land for? Is it for my residential use? Is it for an investment option? So we look at that and take ourselves in the shoes of our client, such that if I'm doing this and I'm talking to a client in diaspora, I'm actually pitching to them something that I've already bought in. From there, what do we do? Now I love the land, I want to see. We usually do a lot of 360 video, a lot of what do I call it? Virtual tours. So we encourage that one. That is for a person who does not want to maybe use a representative. Because again, most of these things have actually happened where a client comes, like the property through our Facebook pages or our website. They are engaged with our agents. They are sent a lot of these documents in terms of title, in terms of all those things. They are sent, and then they maybe commit. Another bunch of client in diaspora is that one who would want someone else to also offer a third eye. So we allow that, such that once I've talked to a person A in diaspora, they'll join us with their representative. We talk to their representative and arrange all those things in terms of site visits and all that. So we make sure that the process is very seamless, easy, but very accountable at every stage of the yes.
So I think you've answered two questions at a go. That is good. You've really told the viewers that they're eligible to invest back at home, and you've told them the process, like what they need to know when scouting for this land. So maybe we'll just quickly talk about once they've viewed the plots, they've sent the representative or through the virtual tours, how do they make the payments now to Fanaka? Let's narrow it down to Fanaka. How do they make the payments from diaspora to us?
I think I'd say as a country, we're actually living our best life. Because you see, the world we live in today is a very integrated world. It's like it's a global village. That is what they say. We have M-Pesa. I think I've heard M-Pesa gone global, where people still in UK can still use M-Pesa back home. We have interconnectivity through the SWIFT, where a person can use their bank to transact to us. We've seen that a lot with people from Asia and America, where they can just deposit directly. So it's that easy. It's that easy. Yes.
You're really shouting and saying that Fanaka has really made everything seamless and easy for them. So if you're a diaspora person, don't be conned or don't be cheated that you have to send money to someone to send to us. You can do that directly from where you're seated to Fanaka account, right?
Yeah, and that, you know, the beauty of that is, I think, I don't know where I saw this, where as a country we're becoming, I'm looking for a word, a better word for it. Like, kila mahali, at every end of the process, lazima kuna third party. Yeah. So in Kenya, today, if you ask someone if they know where they can get an engine for Subaru, they'll tell you, I know, I can get you an engine for Subaru. So what they do, they take that and then they'll now go contact someone else on them. Yeah. Now what is happening through all those stages is the prices in Endeleki, iki-hike. But now imagine this. Mimi niko diaspora. If land in Kenya inatoka 800,000, regardless of where, either I'm paying with dollars, US pounds, it's not US pounds. US dollars, Britain pounds, and all that, my amount will remain the same. It's like hakuna mtu hata atajua tofauti yako na mtu wa diaspora. Yeah, you see. So it really helps because now I know I'm actually getting value for my money. And you know, in diaspora, it's not easy. I think you can attest that.
Kabisa, it's not.
You are in Nairobi, and those people back home, they usually don't know. It's the same correlation. Za ule ako diaspora pia unaona ni kama ako
anasikia vizuri.
Yeah. And if you look at how our money financially should be spent, nobody has like what do I call it? Like in excess in terms of resources. Resources are usually very scarce because if that is the amount I'm getting for this engagement I have abroad, we've talked about the median stay for people in diaspora being 11 years. So you can imagine if I have to spend my amount 50% for my needs just to make sure I'm actually surviving the next day. Yeah, I have 30% to look at what wants do I have. Hata ninue kiatu mzuri, nifanye nini. You get it? The remaining 20% I have to actually invest. So if a person is coming in between that, you in that journey of investment, that person is actually messing you big time.
Kabisa.
If a person inflated a price for you, let's say a property inatoka 800, this person came and sold to you at $1 million. That's a difference of 200. We're actually talking about wewe kutafuta hata container uweke hapo. Ama kama unataka kufanya kilimo, you can actually start. So if you look at the value of money and us having eradicated third parties, we're actually making sure that even if you wanted to add another piece, even get a bigger parcel, it becomes possible. And those people are actually been exploited. People in diaspora, if they give you your story, we talk to clients and you listen to the angle they are coming from. The first bit is they are usually very scared. Very scared, and kwanza wanakuona kama mwizi.
They're very skeptical of even investing back at home because number one, you'll have to pay this person to come. Somebody will tell you I'm coming from Geshagi.
True.
To come and view the plot for you. You have to cater for my transport.
Correct.
You have to cater for my lunch there. Then the person on the ground will just add his own expenses. That is on you. Remember that one is aside from the plot price. Then after that, you'll have to pay them for the service of them coming to view. So I think Fanaka, we've really tried to eliminate that bit. We try to really connect from us to the clients directly, even in terms of payments, in terms of the viewership and all that. Yeah, how they make their payments. And even something has just come up. Once they've now started the process, now how do is there any signing off? Because someone can ask, now that we've viewed the process, we've viewed the plots, how do I now know this particular plot is under my name, what documentation is there, how will they get to reach me?
Yeah. I think on that entirety, trust is usually very key. And for better part, it's usually earned. You have to earn the trust of a client. As I've said before, when we're looking at the onboarding process of a diaspora client, first of all, we need to understand and make sure that we are actually buying the trust of the client. So how our process will start, before a person can actually engage or commit to pay, first of all, they have to be bought. They have to have bought in to the process. How do we do this? We started by doing a virtual tour. We have a lot of testimonials from clients from abroad. We've availed this information and they can actually check. That is the beauty of maybe if I can digress kidogo, that is the beauty of the world we live in today in terms of information. Because you see now, if I am in Qatar, I don't know what is happening back home. So what used to happen back then, it's my brother or my friend back here is the one with limitation of information. But now we're actually getting the same information at the same time. If Fanaka has a new project, we'll post it. We have all our pages. We have the YouTube like the one we're doing today. We even joined TikTok as the fastest moving platform. We'll do that through our social media pages, Facebook being one of them. We'll also do this through our website, such that if I'm wherever I am, I have access to information. That is the first one. Number two, the documentation. And this they can actually do. We encourage a lot of third-party doings, and by third-party doings, I mean if I'm a client in diaspora and I want the process to also involve a lawyer, we agree with that one. because now that is the process of due diligence.
Okay.
If they wanted to have a lawyer do that, transact on their behalf, we'll agree. If they wanted first to do all the due diligence before they can commit to the process, we agree. Such that, what do I need to do a due diligence? I need to have the copy of the title deed. We'll make sure we're furnishing the client with the same. What do we also need? You'll need direction in terms of what do I need. You see, that is the funniest bit. That a client will come and say, I want to do due diligence. And then they will ask, yes, you can do due diligence.
And
this is how you do your.
Yeah.
You see, so we also have other people involved in the process, like the land registry now for the case of search and all that. So we make sure that this person has all the information they need before they can move forward
to the committing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So that we are not rushing you ati wewe lipa tumebakisha moja wewe hapana.
Tufanye mchezo.
No.
Good. So it's good to note that Fanaka has really earned the trust of many Kenyans, either locally or globally, and kudos to the people behind it, Kanyeri being one of them. So our numbers are still on the screen. Follow us, subscribe, share the channel everywhere. So final thoughts about the same as we wind up. You've told them about the payments, you've told them about how the process. Now, we can talk about the title deeds. How do they collect? Being that you mentioned they can stay there for maybe 11 years. How will someone get to his or her own title deed after we've processed it? Can they involve a third party? Can they wait and come for it when they're back home?
As I've mentioned, the world we live in today is actually very developed in terms of connectivity. We've had clients who we've sent their title deed after the process has completed. And it's also good and very good to mention that for us, given that we usually have most of the documentation in check and in hand before we introduce a property for sale. Let's say we have a property like Zawadi, Tawi, I think Tausi, one of our lowest price property, going at 550 bob. We already have the documentation for that property. And by documentation, I'm talking about the individual title deed for each plot. So if a person came, let's call him John from UK, and wanted to invest in Tausi plot number 2, we're actually dealing with Tausi number 2 in itself alone. So if John completes the payment, 550, being inclusive of the transfer to his name, after 30 days, I can actually guarantee you this, that John will have the individual title deed. The title deed will be in the office. So it's now up to John to advise. Do you want the title deed to come to you in US? You say yes, it's okay. We'll facilitate that one.
Alright.
Do you want to wait? Because as Fanaka, I don't think iko mahali tunaenda, we'll still be here. So someone would say, no, hii title yangu iweke, I'll be visiting, because they do a lot of visitation. So once they're coming back, they can also come. And maybe for those who not physically viewed the property, so it's also a very good opportunity for them to come and view the property. There's another one who would say, but do you know what, Dan? My wife is still in Kenya. I want to her to come and pick it on my behalf. We'd still do that. So in terms of delivering the title deed, they shouldn't have any issue. John, you shouldn't have an issue. We'll get you this.
Okay. So there's no any other bureaucracy like my wife has to come and sign something, come with a lawyer for them to pick the title deed. They can just come, they say they are picking it on behalf of John?
Not really, because again, you'll realize a title is very sensitive.
Yeah.
You also want to make sure that this being for John, let's say I have a title deed, it's actually mine. At this particular time, it's no longer Fanaka's property.
Yeah.
We cannot do as we wish. In most of these underdoing or undertakings, it is the client who will be advising the best and most convenient way they feel the title deed should be delivered for them. So if a client dictated and said, here I want John to come and pick it, it's from the client. So provided we have the assurance that this one is actually coming from the client, then we'll do that. Because in some events, By assurance, in
You
most
mean
cases,
maybe you can write something, a letter or something to us?
yeah, a simple email directing. I want these and these to be given.
Okay.
You see, it's like a will. I'm just giving. Give this. It's mine now. I want you to give this one. So we
Okay.
wouldn't have an issue with the same.
Alright.
But again, we cannot, through our own will or valuation, say that given that you came with this person, then this person can take on your behalf. No. It has to
don't
be
do that.
advised by the client.
So you've had it all. You know how we do it here. We educate, we give insights, and we recommend anything related to land investment. So it was a great show. Asante sana Dan
Thank you very
for
much.
gracing us with your presence. For those who want him on the next show, kindly comment on the comment section. As always, subscribe. It has been a great show. So see you next time.
All right.
Hello and welcome to Amara Gardens. This project is located along the Eastern Bypass and it's just 2.5 kilometers off the tarmac. And like you can see around, these people have already started settling and water and electricity is already available. This place ticks all the social amenities you would be looking for when building a home. For more information, call this number or visit our social media platform.